Alright, so we're going to kick this broadcast off with some puppy introductions. They're actually resting now after their meal, so I'm going to do my best to do this very delicately. Even more delicately than I had originally anticipated. They're sleeping. That's an important priority. So I'm just going to take you around and introduce you to them without waking them up. This here is Benji. This is Apex. And this is Oscar. Oscar is exhibiting the most natural protective instincts, and this even comes down to other puppies playing with me. Oscar is showing great natural protective instincts. And here we have Eclipse. Eclipse is the third born of this litter. Watch your mouth. No. And continue to take you around. Benji's up now. Where are you going, Benji? There, this is Emmy. Right here's Emmy. And this is Waldo. Yeah, get him familiar with the gentle touch. Gentle touch. What else do we have? We have Zelda here with Mom. Zelda, hello. Good girl. Another good girl. Seeing Mom. Yeah. Alright. There's Zelda. Do we have an independent spirit over here? All the way in the far corner of the yard. Let's go take a look. Ooh, this is our pick of the litter, as far as the males go. She says that he's not ready right now. He's fast asleep. We get an idea of the temperament of the mother, the temperament that these dogs descend from. That's a very big deal because that's going to be the dog that's going to be raising your puppies. For the most part, the first 4 weeks, that's mostly all her work, especially when the mother is as good as this mother was and is. They're going on 9 weeks and she's still giving them milk. And they're also getting milk from Siri. So both of these litters are actually getting milk from 2 mothers. This, I propose, would be of benefit to their development of their immune systems. You get like the German Shepherd milk and then the Staffordshire Bull Terrier milk. She shouldn't be chewing on that like that, but we'll let it slide for now. mother German Shepherd ran such a great ship. We started to call her Saint Nita affectionately to describe how. So there's 9 puppies, right? And there's 24 hours in a day, and they all got to eat. And they, like, at a certain time, like, they just eat, sleep, and handle their business, and she's tending to all of it. So they're cycling on her nipples and stuff. And meanwhile, on the other side of the coin, are pit bull puppies here. I call them blue-nosed bull terriers. It's been a long time since any pit was in these dogs here. And they're bred for temperament. They weren't bred for any pit purposes. They were bred to be of esteemed temperament, pristine temperaments. So it's kind of antithetical to pit bull breeding. Like I said in the description here of this video, we're not engaged in dog breeding per se. More accurately, we would call this canine genealogical stewardship. We do have Mario resting over there with Blue. I'm not going to bother them right now. Blue is she's our teacher. Blue's the eldest dog of the house, and she's inserted into the pack when they're of a certain age to, almost as a ringer, to instill a higher level of character in them at a younger age, to facilitate better manners in them. Now because an 11-year-old Yorkshire Terrier mix, she's actually a Chorky, Chihuahua Yorkie mix, because she's of such great esteem in her temperament, she was able to transfer that to them by being inserted into their pack at a young age. If you check my shorts, I'll show you some videos of how that's done and how she handles her role in that. I wanted to be out here to play with these guys and show you, so we're gonna have to wait a couple hours on that. Later today, I will be doing a Q&A for those with dog training interest and those just with any interest in dog breeds. If you ever thought about being a dog breeder and you want to talk about it with somebody, we're gonna talk about that. Each of these puppies comes with access to free board and train, a week-long free board and train once a year for the rest of their lives. With pleasure. It's my absolute pleasure to do that for them. In addition to that, their owners will also be receiving substantial discounted pet care services when available. There's an infinite return policy, which means that if at any time should anything change in your life, there's always a door open for them here. They will never have to resort to being left at a shelter for any reason, and that's going to be stipulated in the contract, because you can make that clear to folks and they'll still drop the ball on you there. So it's very important when you offer this level of value in something, this level of commitment. You have to find people that are qualified to offer that same level of value on the other side of the coin for these dogs. You can search the valleys, the mountains, tallest trees, the bottom of the seas, and you're not going to find even the most venerated, accoladed, respected, revered, and celebrated dog breeders. You're not going to find even a semblance of the value of what I'm offering. This was not dog breeding, but canine genealogical stewardship. I'm a longtime German Shepherd enthusiast. I, like you, saw that saddle coat is synonymous with authority. That's when I see a German Shepherd walk by, that's a tale of authority right there, and that means something. That means something in the dog world. That means something to us. So this meant a lot to me to actually to involve myself in this. This was a very orchestrated breeding with folks that well, let's just go over there and show you where. This is Saint Nita, Benita von Fichtenschlag. She's from Poland, and she's one of the best bred examples of a Remo Vom Fichtenschlag granddaughter. Remo Vom Fichtenschlag is one of the few two-time world seekers, which means one of the two champions of the most well-organized breed organizations in the world, the SV and the WUSV. That's the world organization that contributes to the German Shepherd breed collective, and then there's the national. So it's the most organized bred dog in the history of dog breeding. You can go back to you can find her pedigrees all go back. They have to go back hundreds of years, 100 years. The reason for that is also to be eligible for breeding and to get SV papers, both parents need to have a Schützen's certification. They need to pass the Schützen. They need to have hip scores. So she's health tested, genetically tested, hip tested, and she's given amazing puppies to the world before. And but this is a very special breeding. He's not out here right now. The father of this litter is a very special dog. So she's Saint Nita. I affectionately refer to her as Saint Nita. Now the father, I don't even take credit for what's going on with him. I affectionately refer to him as the Lord Shepherd. I'm just here taking care. I appreciate him. I can't take credit for how great of a dog he is. And just see the temperament of these puppies, how they stay together. And they were like that. They were like that the whole time. If you go back through the footage of, if you search at Stardog Shepherds on YouTube, at STARDAWG, situation, task, action, result, domesticated animal, working guardian. Stardog Shepherds on YouTube and Instagram, and you'll find information about the earlier part of their upbringing, and how great their mother was, and how hands-on their mother was. Their mother began potty training them at a very young age, simply in insisting that each one of them go off of the blanket, that they have to go off the blanket before they can relieve themselves. And that's going to instill potty training in them very young, as that's why they're all doing so well. This is their other mother. Siri. Siri is a blue nose Staffordshire Bull Terrier. Often confused, interbred with other pit bull breeds, American Staffordshire Terriers, American Pit Bull Terriers, and people confuse the three of those often. Those are breeds, and the term pit bull is a category. But there's no pit in these dogs, like I said, for many generations. So we're removing that from the glossary terms on this page, and we're just going to refer to these dogs as blue nose bull terriers, or you can call them new family blue nose. If you're familiar with old family red nose, this is new family blue nose. They're kind of more bred for temperament rather than the pit. The father is of the most excellent temperament you could even imagine. I don't take credit for him neither. You'll see Simon. He's featured on this page often. You can see examples of his temperament. You can see examples of him meeting his daughters for the first time. They were like 3 weeks old. He's a very special dog. I'm not sure he's actually gonna breed again. I'm not sure he. All right, like. The reason I say that is, he's like. You'd have to really be there to see it. He's just kind of like not really. He's kind of aloof. Like he's not really into that stuff. Like he's not really into pushing the line. You know what I mean? Unless it comes to a ball. So we're gonna get him out here later with. So I have both fathers out here and both mothers. You get an idea of the temperaments when everyone's doing their thing. These puppies are available in Southern California. Due to the issues going on with people that gravitate towards pit bulls, the lack of responsibility within that community, and how they so often end up in shelters, there's going to be a very high price point and a lot of training behind the available pit bulls if they are to be made available to the public. And that is really just to deter and keep away people who don't seem to realize that the cheapest part of owning a dog is buying the dog, regardless of the price point. Going through about 40 pounds of food every 5 days now. 240 pounds a month. Now this, what I'm showing you here, is exactly why I picked her. Her temperament is the most docile temperament you will find in a dog of this kind. But yet, if I pick up a ball right now, she's ready to go when it comes to playing with a ball. But if you want to hold her for hours, she's also ready for that too. So she inspired me to develop a model for an event called the the Pit Bull Cuddle Olympics, and this is to change the breed imagery. The breed, it'd probably be a pretty clandestine event at first. It'd be even weirder looking, I'd imagine. Probably be something like memeable. Probably plenty of great memes that could happen from such an event. But we're just gonna score and judge the cuddling skills of pit bulls, because dogs of a certain kind Yeah, they need to be equipped for the needs of the people today. They need to be equipped for 21st century homes. And that includes people that want to hug their dogs all day. Whereas before, most of these dogs that I'm working with are from working heritage of some sort, whether that's sporting or herding. Most of these dogs are from working heritage, but the modern world does not have a place for the working dog on a widespread basis. Yet these breeds are still so popular, and we all want to park our Belgian Malinois next to our Apache helicopter in the living room, right? I know, I've been there. I also want a wolf dog someday. We'll get there. Folks, I want to thank you for tuning in. We've had consistent numbers on there, even if it's just 3 or 4 people during the live broadcast. I want to thank you for your time, your patronage. If you like what you're seeing, or if you like the content, hit the like, subscribe, share with a friend. Share with a friend before they share it with you, because you're cool like that. And if you're in Southern California, don't talk to me if you want a pit bull. I'm not ready for that. I'm probably gonna keep all 3. That's why I didn't introduce you to none of them. But I'm serious. I'm looking at property in other states. Like, I'm pretty serious about them. They're gonna be a 3 sale. Nice trio. They're a trinity. They're sisters. This trinity of sisters. There's equinox, solstice, and eclipse. Their names have been changed because they earned that. Originally, it was going to be Dora because she's adorable. Want to go take another look at her? Come on, back. Let's see what Freddy's doing over here. There are 12 puppies here. 6 male German Shepherds, 3 female German Shepherds. One of the female German Shepherds is staying with me. There is temperament assessments on the rest being made that will help me figure out which will be best for which homes. For example, Oscar is exhibiting excellent protective instincts even when it comes to play. Other dogs playing with me is unacceptable to him. They cannot pull on my tethers, my tatters. They can't do that. Do you like this? It's got pockets on the side here. It's pretty good for dog training. And you put some stuff in there. Alright, so looking for the pit bull puppies. Pit bull puppies. Or as we're referring to them as the blue-nosed bull terriers. The Staffordshire Bull Terrier. The reason why the American Staffordshire Terrier is named that is because it's named, one breed registry wanted to incorporate the origin of the American Pit Bull Terrier, whereas the UKC coined the American Pit Bull Terrier term. The AKC wanted to include the American Staffordshire Terrier. They wanted the Staffordshire to be in the name because they hail from the Staffordshire Bull Terriers of Ireland. and England, in that area. So the Staffordshire Bull Terrier is of the original blood, or the original gene pool that the American Staffordshire Terrier draws from, that the American Pit Bull Terrier draws from. They were just bred in different ways, kind of like the Husky and the name's not. I'm not thinking Malamute. If you're thinking that, it's Husky and what is that breed that's actually like the actual Husky? Huskies were bred for the show ring from dogs. The Sapala, yes, the Sapala is the true dog that was bred for mushing, or for that Iditarod stuff in Alaska. Sapalas. From that same gene pool came the Husky. Same is the case with the Staffordshire Bull Terrier, being more the older breed, and the American Pit Bull Terrier being the more rigorously bred breed. So that's why you have such high octane examples within that gene pool, that genealogical markers of the same gene pool. And that's why they call it an American Pit Bull Terrier versus the American Staffordshire Terrier. And they're so often intermixed that there's just so often just pit mixes. Now, Siri is a Staffordshire Bull Terrier. Simon is an American Pit Bull Terrier. So in that, you have a throwback to the original gene pool. Hybrid vigor is going to take place, but they're anatomically, structurally pretty similar, bred in the same direction. Now, if I were to breed a greyhound with a dog that's not bred to be fast, that's breeding in the opposite directions. But calling back to the same original gene pool is only going to create hybrid vigor. And that's why those 3 puppies that we're discussing here, like, I'm not selling them to you. You know, it's that. I'm not selling them to you. I'm just telling you what they are, a higher example of background for their genealogical scope. They stick together. They're probably down here, and if I turn this, orientation is locked. Alright. They're probably down here. Let me know if you see them. Yeah, they are. Right there. So, they are subterranean right now. Got eclipse, solstice, and equinox down there. They'll come out when they're ready. They, just like there's 3 tuned into this broadcast, there's 3 of them. And they had, for the first 3 weeks, they had Siri all to herself. They came out a little bit early to join the German Shepherds. And Nita and Siri just hit it off. They entered this dual mother partnership. And I felt like this was going to be to the betterment of all the dogs involved. And also Siri, because she's producing all this milk, and she only has 3 puppies that are alternating between it. Those 3 puppies are they're basically like balls of muscle when they came out. This is like holding a ball of muscle, whereas the German Shepherds are like holding structural and anatomical like figures. It's different. Like they're bone and stuff like, but the other ones like holding them as pure muscle. I don't know if they'll ever use it though, because they're kind of bred, like I said, for like the Cuddle Olympics, the Pitbull Cuddle Olympics, to change the breed stereotypes. Those that are gonna ever have a litter of their own to tend to. One of the things you want to do when they're young to assist with their neurological system development. Little massages for their paws. Get in between there. You can use a Q-tip. I don't know, like there seems to be like this notion in some elements of the information that they give to people that are breeding dogs, or people handling a litter for the first time, where like everything should be pristinely clean and sterile completely. And I think that's why you're so often finding dogs that have like no natural immunity to anything. They've not been exposed to natural stuff. They've been exposed to chemical cleaners that are like so often sprayed that they're actually endocrine disruptors for humans. So imagine what they're like for dogs that are like nasal based and scent based. So yeah, it's just humans on a widespread basis using stuff that's not really that great. You know, it really doesn't, to clean your kitchen doesn't really require the type of cleaners you use to do it. There's a lot of other stuff you could use if you need to use something, but a little bit of elbow grease is mostly what you need to use. Whatever the stuff in the blue bottle is, and you spray it and it has that smell that you somehow don't associate with like every medical industrial complex thing out there, you know what I mean? Of course it's not associated with stuff. There's going to be no Clorox ads on these videos. Now, if I'm going to climb a mountain, Siri's the dog I'm going with. She's the best dog to climb a mountain with. I just did some rock climbing, hill climbing with one of her sons from their first litter. Bless you, Zoe. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate that you have a Z in your name. You have a shepherd. Nice. How old is your shepherd? Every now and then you guys, get those points of pressure out for them. They build up that tension in their back legs. They're in push-up position all the time. Every now and then, give them a good rub down. So 2 years old. 2 years old. That's a great age to have a shepherd. Did you have your shepherd for the first 2 years? Like by 2 years, that's like when I'm ready to tone down the training or the boundaries for other people around them. I'm gonna be ready to expose them to more after 2 years old, as far as loosening the reins of the supervision. But up until 2 years old, I'm basically like, up until 2 years old is I think that's all for them to be learning. The first years, probably that's the toughest one for a lot of people, especially as they become of age. Bless you. Thank you for your comments and your viewership, and that you engage with what you're watching. I appreciate that very much. Thank you. If you have a dog that is giving milk, a great way to introduce different things to the puppies is through the dog's milk, to the mother's milk. Everything the dog takes in nutritionally is going to be recomprised in the dog's system and dispersed and dispensed through the milk. So when you want, you want to look at the nutritional properties of the milk and insert those precursors in there. For example, I want her to have a little bit more honey, different fruits with electrolytes, watermelon, pineapple. I want her to be hydrated to the extent she's producing milk. This milk is gonna provide sustenance, immune system development. Pineapple, watermelon, those are great things. You gotta stay away from citrus. Apple, I mean, it's a nice sweetener, but it's not gonna do like what watermelon or pineapple is gonna do for them. Pumpkin's a good vegetable. Most of your root vegetables, I'd avoid potatoes, but because it's just starch. But beets probably your best in the roots vegetables category. You're gonna want to avoid tomatoes. You want to avoid nightshades. But mushrooms are also good for your dogs too. They're also good for their neurological systems. How many puppies do I have, or how many dogs? So there's 12 puppies here. The 12 puppies are comprised of 9 German Shepherds, which include 6 males and 3 females. There's also 3 blue-nosed bull terriers, and they are all female. So together there are 6 males and 6 females. It's a pretty nice balance for them. Best wishes to you and your baby's feeding today. May that be a part of your relationship and your bond that you enjoy together. Looks like everyone here is fast asleep and ready to rest, so I'll be out when they are ready to wake up. And Zelda's returning to bed. Okay. Yeah, I'll be back when they're ready to wake up. My father's out, and so we'll meet both of the fathers at the same time. You'll see that a lot of the things that they say about 2 male dogs together, it's not what's like made out to be. They can coexist. We don't have to do that to all of our dogs. You have to wonder, like, what is the agenda at play when on such a widespread basis. We want to do that to our dogs. It's actually, like, in some areas, many areas, there's actually a shortage of dogs. You just happen to be in highly populated areas where you find pet overpopulation issues. And of that, typically, their dogs of a certain variety that end up in the shelters. To prevent that, it's very important to connect your puppies with people that are aware of the virtues and merits of commitment. Anyways, thank you for tuning in, and we'll be back today after the Derby it's a great time for a Derby prediction. Fierceness, I don't think Fierceness has what it takes for a Triple Crown success. Fierceness has showed that he doesn't show up all the time. But when he does show up, he's a force to be reckoned with. But he doesn't show up. So that's where the mental head state is. You got the fastest horse out there, but they have to have the winning mind state. Horse racing comes from horses, their fear instinct. They're animals that are prey. So that's why they've evolved over time to be fearful and to run fast, and they run with the herd. So when they run with the herd, they've been genetically made to run with the herd for a long time. In horse racing, they're meant to breed a horse that is supposed to separate themselves from the herd, the horse that is out in the front of the pack. So fierceness doesn't always come with the thank you for the hat compliment. Just gonna give a little Derby prediction here. Could be right, could be wrong. Definitely don't put your money down on this. Forever Young, being overlooked right now, perhaps purposely. We have a favorite because of the success of Fierceness in the Florida Derby. How great he ran, but he doesn't always show up. There's, I think, an inserted sleeper, and it's going to make for a nice sports news media outlet narrative when a Japanese horse wins. Forever Young, keep an eye on him.